So, Britain's got a new king and a new queen consort. But why has Camilla's coronation crown got royal historians talking? On the occasion of Queen Elizabeth II's Platinum Jubilee in 2022, she declared that upon her death and Prince Charles' ascension to the throne, Charles' wife Camilla would become the queen consort. Queen Elizabeth died later that same year, and her son's coronation took place on May 6, 2023. Camilla, of course, held a special place at the ceremony. As part of that honor, Camilla wore a coronation crown in accordance with a long-standing royal tradition. One of many queenly titles, a queen consort is much like any other type of queen in terms of status and honor, just without sovereignty or the ability to provide input on British affairs of state. According to Buckingham Palace, the coronation of King Charles III was to be traditional in most regards, but modern in others, in the hopes of looking towards the future. Similarly, the crown that Queen Camilla wore has roots in British royal history, but it does break from royal tradition in one crucial way. Queen consorts at coronation ceremonies typically wear a crown that was custom-made for them. This, however, was the crown's second appearance on a royal stage. Instead of having her own lavish crown made for the ceremony, Camilla wore a previously used crown, because wearing a crown only once might be considered to be too ostentatious for a more low-key coronation ceremony. Buckingham Palace claims that the decision was made in the interests of sustainability and efficiency. So when it came time to select the crown she would wear at her husband's coronation, Camilla might have had an easy task before her. Her husband's grandmother, Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, was initially the queen consort to her husband, King George VI. Once King George died and a daughter ascended to the throne as Queen Elizabeth II, the elder Elizabeth became the Queen Mother. After it was decided Camilla would break with royal tradition, she could have simply worn her grandmother-in-law's crown. As it turns out, however, she wore another one instead.
Talk about a plot twist.
Rather than the Queen Mother's crown, Camilla wore the crown of Queen Mary, who had used this crown at George V's coronation in 1911. Camilla picked Mary's crown over Elizabeth the Queen Mother's because Elizabeth's crown prominently features the Koh-i-Noor diamond. The Koh-i-Noor was extracted from an Indian mine while the country was under British rule, and for this reason the true ownership of the 105.6 carat gem diamond is a controversial topic. On Camilla's decision not to wear the Queen Mother's crown, royal jewelry historian Lauren Keener told the CBC that the royals certainly don't want the legal arguments over the Koh-i-Noor to be the focus of the narrative during the coronation. The disputed priceless Koh-i-Noor jewel was actually once set in Queen Mary's crown, but it later reset on the Queen Mother's crown when her husband, King George VI, was crowned in 1937. The crown Camilla wore, however, was reset with Queen Elizabeth II's Cullinan 3, 4, and 5 diamonds, some of the most impressive and expensive jewels in the late Queen's collection. While Queen Camilla donned Queen Mary's crown, she also paid homage to Queen Elizabeth II by wearing her robe of state upon arrival. The royal red robe is crafted with crimson velvet and was worn by the Queen for her 1953 coronation. It has since been modified by Eden Ravenscroft, a longtime tailor in London. Aside from her crown and robe of state, Queen Camilla wore brand new custom-made garments at the coronation. Before leaving Westminster Abbey, she put on her purple robe of estate, worn after the crowning. This item only made a brief appearance during the coronation, but as a blend of modernity and tradition, the cloak is considered timeless. The Queen also donned a dress made by designer Bruce Oldfield, who was one of Princess Diana's go-to dressmakers. The white, floral-adorned gown reflected Queen Camilla's preference for simpler yet lavish styling.